Oppenheimer wanted, dude, this is why our emergency response crew, okay, I'm Captain Starchild, Galactic Federation of Light, Divine Royal Family Child Rescue and Protection Services, at your service. You're one of the 144,000 I've been looking for. Yeah. A lot of them are in my local town, and I'm popping them in just perfect timing, one by one by one by one.
How many seats? But there's seats, and the seats are running out.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? It's like Bitcoin. You think it's running out? Well, my personal mothership to grab whoever I want and all their shit, 300,000 seats.
I'm going on your ship. Where's your ship?
My first responder ship is up on the dark side of the moon. It's called the Amon-Ra. It's the flagship of the Galactic Federation. It's the Amon-Ra.
Yes,
and it's a star tetrahedron.
Yes.
This is a 2D representation of my spaceship.
Wicked A, bro. He said, okay. I'm excited here.
I know, I'm excited too.
That was beautiful.
That's what I do.
That's great, bro.
I pull souls in. I put people with people that they should be with.
Dude, the second
I help people get rid of people that they shouldn't be with.
This is the person I stayed up with till 4:30.
Oh, cool.
I told you the other day, I was like, I was
Yeah.
till 4:30 in the morning.
Wicked, bro.
Like,
Oh,
I met
crazy.
him, and first of all, I was sitting here with Allie, and he pulled up, and like, I had never seen him or met him before.
Are you living around here?
And usually I would be freaked out. Usually
Crazy.
I'd be a little like, okay, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Black guy
what's up?
pulls up, bro, with tattoos like
And
that.
he walks over and he's like, don't be scared. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, literally, I just felt so at ease. I was like, you're totally fine. And then we figured out we were both raised as witnesses.
But
and
everyone
it was
else
like,
hates me.
What the fuck?
They call me
Oh,
thief
that
of
was like,
America,
well,
bro.
that was like, okay, listen,
Don't
darkness.
Yes.
Don't post me on your page.
All right, we can't see you.
Okay.
It's dark.
Dark. It's dark. So listen,
Then they gave it back with extra. Orbit.
you totally fit. He totally fits the crystal, the crystal child.
Want me to bring these back? Yeah, like I'll bring them back to Nate.
He does, but
split,
also
okay?
Oh, okay, Raj. Good to see you, buddy.
Yep.
Thanks for the music, man.
he does, but also I think he's very much indigo as well.
Yeah, old soul.
Is there anything here?
No, let me ask you this:
Yes, sir.
do you remember any other lifetimes on Earth, or are you new to Earth?
No, really, to be honest, I don't know if I lived a lifetime before, but what I can say is this: there are things that I know that I don't know that I know, which means that conversations can ensue and I know what they're talking about. I can suit entire, I think they say in the United States, it's best as most of them will. Now, I do believe I have split personalities. I think my mother said it once, and she was dating this bloke, right? She said, "Little boy, do you know who you are?" And I told my mother, "No, I don't. I'm your son." She laughed. She said, "Well, then you're doing your job." At that age, I didn't think I could afford a job. I thought the grown folks actually would. But remember this, just because 3 people say the same thing doesn't mean it's true. It could take a lifetime to know who you are. That means that you don't know everyone. They can call you a thief and a killer, and the only thing you've ever stolen was some girl's heart, and the other things that you've ever done, that you've ever killed, was a bowl of cereal. Signing out, London.
Right on. That was our galactic report from right now. Captain's log, stardate 42.00000000000001349 3642-777-33. Online, divine, lockup, engage. Communication to my ship is totally open. How are you doing, crew, up there? Man, we got, see, up at my first responders, it's a flying saucer. It rotates. It's docked up on there, and it's 3 feet up in the air, just rotating. And there's 3,000 seats in that, and they're all people that were born in 1976, 77, or 78.
I'm a 97 baby, so I belong in the 70s.
My son is 98.
Wicked.
Yeah, and you know what? The majority of people that are coming online with me are in their 20s and early 30s.
I'm in the early 30s.
And that's because I'm the godfather of the family of light, the warriors of the rainbow. I'm a godfather,
Then
and
we
I'm a
must be
rescue
careful
agent.
because a rose lurks. But just because it's a rose does not mean it cannot be plucked.
Yeah.
They may have money, they may have guns, but we have our hearts. That's all that matters. Stand tall and firm. Die for something. Live for nothing. Thank you.
You know what knuckle tattoos I want to get?
Yes.
Well, you know how you have an upper knuckle and a lower knuckle? So on the top one, I wanted to say fuck love, and on the bottom one, I wanted to say and fuck luck.
True, because luck and love is a myth.
And you know what? Love doesn't get you out of a life harrowing experience when you're battling demons at the pits of hell. All that love that your family, your girlfriend, your wife, your mama feels for you doesn't mean anything.
It does not when it comes time to you to face yourself.
Yep.
Yes, true. Very true.
You got to be raw with yourself. I watched a report earlier by this woman who's also in the secret space program. She's a dimensional traveler.
That is beautiful.
And I messaged whoever posted this video. I somehow got on this group on Telegram, and they're dropping deep intel on this COVID-19, all the mutating viruses and all the mutating.
Honest, you might want to keep this, but it's called the World Casino.
The
and
World
what it means
Casino?
Is there are 3
yeah.
slots, and they play this. It was on YouTube. I don't know if they took it off or not. And this could be worse for me, but this is not because we're crazy. It's not because you feel bugs crawling on you that are attached to your hair. The rose knows. We all know that there's a story to be told.
Only the rose noses where the roses don't go.
They cannot go to the stars. See, the stars can be the liability that lions and lions push. Remember this.
Lyrans? Did you say Lyrans? Oh, lions. Like
the idol of the eye is a story.
One of the extraterrestrial beings of light that I had a communion with and a very cool contact experience with looked exactly like Aslan the lion from the Chronicles of Narnia.
See, that's beautiful, but we're not talking about this one. We're talking about the ones who become a liability.
Yeah.
Those idled eye.
Yep, you know what?
Idle themselves.
Those restless alpha males.
Restless?
Especially restless alpha females.
See, that's the problem.
Because alpha females are trying to be men.
See, they're saying that they're here to help those who cannot help themselves, but really, they're only. It's like someone using karma, for instance. They say karma, but did she literally come down and talk to them? Now that's the question.
Well, listen, sir. Karma is a bitch, and you want to know why I know?
True.
Because in the divine royal family, we don't fuck cousins. We spread our genealogy out and reproduce with other civilizations that have never reproduced with us.
Very true. But remember, did karma come and tell them that she was going to do this to this individual? To think that karma could speak for herself, you would really believe in, right?
Yeah.
Why is it that the ones that are pushing on that individual say it's karma? Did she speak to them? Did she give them the go-ahead? God said himself that he would not speak amongst men and they would believe in faith, right?
Right.
I mean, if anyone's into the Bible.
I've been doing a lot of Bible study with my buddy Justin Arend, and he's the son of my really good friend who passed away like 6 months ago.
Well, then,
and he is a very wise and awesome person teaching me stuff. I'm teaching him stuff about the Gospels.
But they take the sexual activities that they use and make it a cult. There's certain times with the lighting that they'll have someone like the photographer.
Listen,
make
dude,
them stand
I grew
still
up
for hours.
You know where I chose to incarnate? In the middle of a fucking satanic ritual abuse cult programming center, aka evangelical, charismatic, born again, Roman Catholic Christian spiritual community.
Because
it was all these hippies,
all religions
going all
super
crazy on the fucking shit, and teaching spare the rod, spoil the child. So
yes,
I got beat to shit, man. And when I met with God on 3 days and 3 nights on the top of the mountain, Alpha Omega,
usually
California.
It was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
Yeah, it was
true.
A 3-day one-on-one with the creator, and he just nurtured me, loved me, up back to being proud of myself and ready to go on a new mission.
Made Jehovah have will. So it means I've been eating dirt since I've got here. And I thought it was the right thing for me to sit back and let it happen. But then you realize the people that the idle ones see, they sin or worse than you. They let the sex offenders walk around with paperwork. Is it right?
Dude, man, the last place I lived at over on 24th and Blaisdell, I did a neighborhood search, and there were like over 100 registered sex offenders within a 1.5 mile radius of me. Right. Hundreds of them.
Think of Gangstock, for instance. What gave them the right to make just civilians to antagonize
who's not
torture
getting
those poor minds that are addicted?
You know who's not
to
getting
drugs.
set free is drug users.
That's the worst part. Those who are addicted are mainly worse than anyone else. They let sex offenders get close to schools, but tell us felons that we can't be because we're felons.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the government, then maybe we should all take a breath and hold it.
Well, I'm involved in learning and interacting with a whole organization that's building a new America from within the crumbles of the remains of the Reagan and Bush era. Now, they had a plan called Plan for the 21st Century, and I read that, and it's basically an increasing technological army being able to more and more
be
keep
careful
people.
for the gamers, because the gamers are working with them.
Yep.
It's very sad that they can push a button on the internet, Facebook, Messenger, so on and so forth, and have someone killed, but never walk the streets with them.
Yeah.
Or they can laugh and point their little gun fingers and watch the suffering, even with their children. What does that teach people? How does that make anything better? To set an example, you do and let go, not to torture and move on and say, well, we're giving him a chance, it's his decision. People get sick, people are sick, people are mental.
Hey bro, there is a mass psychosis taking place on the planet Earth ever since the COVID started.
Well,
mass psychosis.
Once again, there'll be a few people who can agree with me. Do you ever feel like there are things crawling, but only in the last few years? Do the math.
I've never had that experience. In the last 2 years, though, I was once possessed by a demon, a really fucking piece of shit demon, who tried to get me to cut my dick off and bleed myself out in the bathtub. Another one was flush your head down the toilet and inhale all the water.
There was one years back that they cut off of YouTube, I remember. It was the one where it had that guy, this character, and it had the black and white swirlies like from Twilight Zone, and it kept telling the kids to cut themselves.
Yeah.
Back to back to back, and they shut him down. That is devastating.
Yeah.
Yet we walk the streets.
You know what
every
that's
day.
called? That's called psychotronic warfare. And I'm an expert.
That is very true. Very true. But they're using stuff against us, the middleman, the homeless and the wanted, to be unwanted, if you get what I mean. And how they work this is this. They waited for a guy just to be homeless, and then at a bus stop shoot 19 rounds,
dude,
right? Some guy.
Dude, the Metro Transit lines are it's the wolf pack.
They wait until when it's time to kick you off the bus.
I've been mugged like 5 times, 8 times in the last 2 years.
We're the criminals though, right?
I wrote an entire album, my second sophomore album, 14 tracks. All about abuse and prayers. Someone stole that when I nodded off.
Someone told me recently, because they were paranoid that I knew something, said that they were mind fucked to fuck on children and watch. But yet they know of it and done nothing. Kids murdered, they know that this person has...
That can be frequency mind control.
Can it? Because this person is very aware of her surroundings, yet she swears up and down that he's a good guy. A good guy would have stopped.
He is someone who is molesting young children?
This guy, this individual, this female had told me about. And I sat there like really lost, like,
and
this cannot
hold
be
on,
happening,
this
right?
female molested young children?
Of course she said she had something to do with it.
Okay.
You notice there's not many daycares out here?
Yeah.
I wonder. But yet I'm the worst one. They're the people like us, you know, the addicts, I would say, because I'm very addicted to everything. We're those who cannot speak.
Warriors.
We have no. They take the tongue. And
I have no
us.
face. I have no mouth. Exactly. I have no eyes, no ears,
yet
no
they
tongue.
They say we are the leaders of this demise. Makes no sense, man. You don't torture someone and say they have a choice and then have someone come up like an addict. You say, hey, he smokes weed. We're gonna give him a choice to fix it or die. Yet have another guy when he has money come over and say, here, you can have this. Yet you gave him a choice.
You know what? They did a test. You remind me of this one Carl Hart, Dr. Carl Hart from. He is just an incredible. No, he didn't get murdered. He's still giving talks about drug prohibition and he has this one. I don't know where this came from, but it was because something you said reminded me of that. But I'm kind of stoned and I forgot.
It's nothing wrong with being stoned. Sometimes they say God made the birds and the bees and those trees. I believe it. So who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I've fought my whole life to live this long. 34 years, spent a lot of time in prison from helping a friend and maybe having one mishap. And you know how I feel about it? Nothing. We have no feelings. This is the United States of America. We teach more terrorists than we teach our own.
Yeah.
We put our hands in more countries than we take back. Yet they tell us that we're the best country. What about the starving kids here? Maybe they should figure that out.
I know.
Truth hurts. Truth is horrible. I've done things I'm not proud of. I've had to make waves to hear something. All they caught was waves. Not the person behind the wave, or not the people that are pushing to make you have these enormous feelings. If you notice,
It's like a cosmic
crack epidemic. There you go.
Yeah.
Here, check this out. They put crack in the most worst neighborhoods ever.
Yep.
And look at how it turned out.
wanted
It wasn't
to
for the
see-
blacks.
They wanted to see people destroy themselves.
It wasn't just in. Now look, the people that smoke most crack are white. It backfired. The guy who created the dark web, look at what he's going through. Snowden's hiding.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all step back and look at ourselves before we judge everyone
There's some
else.
heavy intel I got today, and they're talking about total lockdowns happening this month in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, all the
And of course, we're
British
gonna have to do it
Commonwealth
too because we
Wait,
want to
because of the variants?
because of the variants. Yeah,
anything to keep population control or control it all. It's sickening.
and I listened to this whole workshop about how fucking the 5G technologies affect and interact with the molecules that were
We don't. Oh, they,
Put in
yeah,
you
they're,
from
they're coming up
the
with the thing.
5G, the 5G
Where they can
wireless.
split in atom, right? This
Yeah.
is what we're talking about. Let me tell you something. The moment we were able to clone, the moment God stopped listening, imagine that if we live forever,
Is this yours?
go ahead, Mark.
Thanks.
If we live forever, right? What would the world be? Nothing, because of the way we think imperfectly. I'm just saying.
It's just like
We blow this
Shiva,
place up.
Shiva and Parvati. They get to dance the eternal dance. We don't have numbers large enough to count the creational realms. You know what?
I love
you
my
know
people.
the creational realms we can see with the telescopes on Earth is about 0.00003% of the creational realms.
Does a man walk the streets with his head high, knowing he has nothing, and people are after him because he's guilty? I don't see it. Maybe he has made mistakes, but at the end of the day, he's still a man and he walks. Fire and water do not mix, but they coincide.
I have a song called "I Can Set Fires Underwater and I Can Breathe Underwater," and it's the only song that got saved from my album last year.
I would like to hear it one day.
You will?
Sure. Yes,
Here,
sir.
I'll hear it now.
Appreciate you.
Okay, that's all for Darkness and Starchild.